Hello again, lovely people. Today I'm going to share with you another delicious pudding recipe that comes from my childhood. My mother would make this often for us as we were growing up. And then later on in life, I did the same for my own family. This is a very traditional British pudding, and how it landed on our shores, well, that must have come from the colonial influences we were once exposed to. And for us, it was very close to home because my maternal grandfather was half British and half Milano. Being exposed to the cuisine of both cultures was certainly a plus for us. So now, folks, I'm sharing with you the ingredients that I'm using for the bread pudding. I'm using here about 10 slices of bread, just white bread would do. Some butter, brown sugar, golden raisins that I've soaked in hot water to plump it up, 1 nutmeg that I've cracked, and some salt, eggs, of course, milk for the custard, and I've used here evaporated milk that I've mixed with fresh full cream milk, and then I have the vanilla paste. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to butter the slices only on one side. You can be very generous with the butter because after all, that's why it's called a bread and butter pudding. Right. So now we'll slice it into small triangles. As you can see, I have a well-greased glass baking dish here. I'll sprinkle some raisins over the bottom and arrange the triangles buttered side up, slightly overlapping each other. Once that is done, we sprinkle more raisins over this layer and do the same for other subsequent layers until the end. I will reserve some raisins for the top of the pudding and we'll sprinkle it on just before baking. Just a little word here on how I prepare the bread. I did not remove the crusts because we prefer it that way, but you can do so if you want to. Now I'm going to show you how I prepare the custard. To the milk, I'm adding the brown sugar, and then I will crack the eggs one by one and add that to the milk and sugar mixture. Now the second egg goes in. And judging from the looks of my jug, it will not be able to hold any more of those eggs. So I will change it to a bowl instead so I can blitz it with my electric hand whisk without creating a disaster here. Okay, in goes a teaspoon of vanilla paste. I'm now going to add in the salt to the custard mixture. The salt will bring out all that creaminess of the milk in the custard. Now I'm grating the nutmeg that I had cracked earlier, so this is fresh nutmeg. I love the sweet and warm aroma and taste of the nutmeg itself in this pudding. So I'm just adding a quarter there. And now I'm going to give it a good whisk until it's all thick and creamy. And this is the custard mixture that we'll pour all over the bread triangles that we had prepared earlier on in the glass dish. I'm just gently pressing it down into all that custard mixture to ensure that all the bread slices absorbs the mixture. Cover it and I'll keep it aside for half an hour or so. After half an hour, you will notice that the bread has soaked up all that yummy custard. Now I'm just going to give it a little sprinkle all over with about a tablespoon of brown sugar, just to give it that nice crunchy touch when it comes out of the oven. And that crust will be the best part of this pudding. Nice and crisp. That's the part I like the most. Now, the raisins that I had left aside earlier, I'm sprinkling on as well. A little more grated nutmeg for the top. And now I'm going to dab all the remaining butter that we had left from earlier on all over the top. And then it goes into the oven at 180 degrees for about an hour. Now this is what it looks like after an hour in the oven. All nice and golden brown and puffed up. And we can keep this aside, let it set for about half an hour before we cut into it. Now this is what I'm doing. I've got a slice out there. It has been cooling down for about half an hour. Now you can see all that creamy goodness. You can serve this by sifting some powdered sugar over the top or by serving it with some vanilla ice cream on the side. Or you can have it with some pouring custard too. But I'm going to enjoy mine just like this, in all its creamy, buttery glory. Eating a slice of this pudding always brings back such lovely memories of our childhood, where we were exposed to simple, good-tasting food cooked from the heart. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn that notification button on.